Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Yasuo, Spirit Blossom Yasuo, and we'll be facing off against Fiddlesticks. I'm doing this because someone requested that I try to play through this adventure with Spirit Blossom Yasuo. I'm not really optimistic about it. Fiddlesticks just destroys your deck when you generate cards. And Spirit Blossom's Yasuo game plan really revolves around generating cards to keep your hand full so that you can gather storm on the storm conduits. But you don't really survive that long if your deck gets destroyed. I went ahead and made it so Yasuo was 5 stars specifically because I got the Windborn Remains as a rune, and it only makes sense to play it on Yasuo. I feel like it's only really viable on him. Other than that, I'm using Yasuo's Windblade just so I have extra mana. Same thing with Starforge Gauntlets. And Champion Spurs, just so Starforge Gauntlets procs. You can probably get away with using another stat increasing relic for the last slot. I'm just using the gauntlets because the relic you're supposed to use with Yasuo from his bundle gives him Overwhelm, and I thought it would be funny to give him Overwhelm with something that's significantly better. So yeah, let's see how things go. Sweet Solitude is actually pretty decent with Yasuo, but the problem is the problem is that it's probably going to make it so I terrify even more than I want to. And I don't really want to terrify, or I don't really want the opponent to terrify and burn my deck. Stabilize is interesting. We can get double the value off of Yasuo's Obliterate effect when he's summoned. I'm picking Sweet Solitude. I don't care. Let's try and close out the game against Fiddlesticks quickly, so that we don't have to worry about our deck being burned. And it's decent enough against the other fights as well. Yeah, I'll keep this and toss the Yasuo back in, just so I can draw him. Ooh, we got lucky. Arisen Soul is a very good card to start with on board. Out of the gates. Let's start here. We want to reduce the cost of most units we played, just so we can benefit off of the Windborn Remains. I'm even going to use Preparation on nothing, just so I can Shades of Battle for a 6/6. Then I can attack with everything. Guarantee a pull on one of the Twisted Catalyzers. Okay, I'd say this was a pretty decent first turn. Next turn we have the Disciple of Doran. Let's block here. Try to keep our Word Presence. He's probably going to Darkness something. 8 damage though. That's a lot.
The journey to mastery begins with humility.
Okay, he doesn't play the Darkness. Instead he goes for the healing. I suppose that's slightly better. Can I go for a kill next turn? If I do this, I can play the Shades of Battles Past. It's a 6/6. 6 plus 6, 12, plus 6, 18, plus 6. It's 24, 24 plus 11. That's not enough. So I guess we're doing this. And then we're waiting for the next turn. Another Yasuo. Can play the Yasuo now. But I'm going to do this instead. I want to go for this Stormblade Sage. I go for the Stormblade Sage. It hits here. I can play the Yasuo. Because I'll play this, Gather Storm, an additional 2 times. And it's 3 plus 2 equals 5, which makes Yasuo cost 0. Yeah, let's go with that. Ooh, actually, it's even more because of the power increase. This is a 3. Can I kill the opponent? I hope so. We are increasing the stats of our Risen Soul as we are playing cards. So this might be enough.
Maybe I do have a future. Is a leaf's only purpose
Okay.
to fall?
He just didn't have anything for 2, so we close out the game this way. That was a pretty decent showing for the first encounter.
Redemption.
Honestly, I was expecting to struggle a bit more. Mostly because this deck is rather slow, and if the opponent gets lucky, he can just hit multiple units off of the jump scare. But he didn't, so we're fine. Chrono Break. Aatrox doesn't really do much for me. And then we have the Plaza Guardian. I suppose it's 7 mana. And it gets its cost reduced whether or not it's the unit that's a Storm Conduit. Nautilus. Nautilus with against Fiddlesticks is interesting because the Fiddlesticks makes us reach deep faster. But the Felius helps keep our hand full. I'm tempted to pick a Felius and then just pick big units to complement him. Yeah, let's try to do that. Vicious Mockery or Shadow in the Brush? Let's go for the Vicious Mockery. Our units are decently large, so I don't feel like the opponent's going to be able to apply Bloom as much as he would like. Let's toss the Mountain Goat back. Keep the Aphelios, the Stormblade Sage, and the Shades of Battles Past. And we got the Mountain Goat out of the gates. A bit of a low roll, but I think we can make it work. Let's play the Aphelios. We'll go for the Shades of Battles Past and the Calibrum.
As darkness falls, the moon rises.
That's fine. Can actually do Aphelios Gifts from Beyond. It gives me an extra weapon.
It hurts because it must.
But the important part is that it makes both the Storm Conduits in my hand 0. Can go for a Calibrum. I'll go for Calibrum right now. Make something else into the Storm Conduit. Yeah, and then we go for the attack with the Shades of Battles Past. Just to go ahead and start reducing this unit's cost. I need card draw. I'm running out of cards in my hand, and that's a problem. Do I want to go for this Stormblade Sage? Actually, I'll go for the Zephyr Sage on this Stormblade Sage. Keeps up the fullness of my hand, and it copies the fact that this is the Storm Conduit. Okay, this is incredible. The commune of the spirit makes it so an additional unit's a Storm Conduit. Do I have dragons in this deck? No, not really. I guess we're just picking the largest unit then. Let's go ahead and Stormblade Sage. Work on reducing the cost of the Cadagreen. Ooh, everything gets Gloom. Could be a problem. Okay, the opponent didn't chain a bunch of units. That means we can just clear most of the board here. And attack with a massive board of our own. Do I want to protect the Aphelios? I think so. But if he blocks the Aphelios and kills it, I just get a free attack off of it, so it might be enough to achieve lethal. Because he only has two mana. How is he going to deal with this board with that amount of mana? Yeah, he doesn't. So basically he screwed himself by blocking Aphelios. And I got to win the game one turn earlier. Rush, Facebreaker, Sonic Wave. I don't want spells, I want large units. Mostly. Nope. Imperium Dance. Honestly, that might be worth it. If we can get some cost reduction on it, we can stop a large spell from the opponent. Let's go for another spell. Unleash the Storm. Recall an enemy to reduce the cost of a random card in your hand by 3. We don't have that in our deck, have we? We have the Last Breath, which has the same art, but it's a different card. Okay, sure, we'll take it. It has synergies with our deck. Smooth Soloist, a shop, or a gold chest. I think we're going to go for the top path, so we can go for the shop. We need to find either more card draw or more cards that generate cards, so we can keep our hand full. And if we can get some cards that have the stacked deck item, that would be nice as well. Helps mitigate the opponent's ability to reduce the amount of cards in my deck. I'm actually going to try and bait the opponent into playing the list and these other vulnerable effects before I play Aphelios, just because I want to have him around for at least a turn. Let's get Scalibrum. It deals with one of the opponent's short tooths. The Plaza Guardian being the Storm Conduit is a bit redundant, but it will get us to that drop a bit faster, I suppose. Do I want to trade in the Shades of Battles Past for 7 damage? Yeah, sure.
Believe, Aphelios.
Helps control the board. The opponent only has 4 cards in hand, 6 now. So it should be fine. Let's gather Storm and get something else. Priestess of the Desert. It helps us get to Yasuo faster. And I could use one Yasuo, so sure. We'll do this, we'll drop on the Plaza Guardian. Okay, he's pulling the Plaza Guardian. I'll just block with the Golden Narwhal when he attacks. If he attacks. Oh, he actually pulls the Golden Narwhal. That's actually good for me. I'm just going to do this now. Remove the opponent's unit.
Sure as the moon, brother.
That's scary. I guess I'm duplicating the Priestess of Light. Just because I have nothing better to duplicate. He really doesn't like that Zephyr Sage, I suppose. I thought he would go for the Aphelios, but he's leaving Aphelios alive. Really interesting decisions by our opponent. Let's pick up Gravitum. Stop one of the opponent's attackers. And then we're going for double Priestess of Light. Oh, they're actually going to stick around after they broke their effect, because they're buffed up by 3. That's a neat interaction. I'm going to get potentially 2 more champions off of them. I'm actually going to go ahead and do this. Bounce the opponent's units, or bounce the opponent's unit back to his hand. Ensure that my unit is safe. Let's double up on the Imperium Dance. Might be useful. Now that he has a unit on board, obviously I go for the
I
Yasuo.
follow only one path, my own.
No, nothing. If he doesn't play anything else, I suppose I'll do this, just so I can get 1 extra unit on board. Next turn I'm going for the kill. And I want to attack with as many units as possible, since 2 of them are going to destroy themselves.
Blade never gets any lighter.
There's no way he survives this, right? Yep, I was right.
One step closer to redemption.
Now all I have to ensure is that I pick up enough cards along the way, and I should actually be able to deal with Fiddlesticks, which is kind of surprising. Grant an ally in play and an ally in hand spirit. Normally I would pass this up, but since it has Grifter's deck, I'm actually tempted to pick it up, which is what I'm going to do. Watch that. Celestial Blessing is actually going to be relevant. Sunblessed Vigor, Celestial Impact, Enfeebling Strike. Enfeebling Strike's actually decent. It allows us to go for somewhat unfavorable trades, just to reduce the amount of power on the opponent's board. The Valve Temple is interesting. The extra mana is nice, but is it necessary? No, not really. At least I don't think so. I'm seriously considering picking up the Celestial Impact. Is it stupid to do so? It's such an expensive spell normally. It has no additional benefits. And it's slow. But it shuffles 2 copies of it into the deck. I'm going to pick it up. Maybe if I just have enough cards we've stacked against them, I'll never run out of cards in the deck. At least that's the hope.
Strand by silken strand.
I have the opportunity to go for more purchases along the way. So it should be fine. Do I want to keep the Celestial Impact? I'm actually going to keep the Celestial Impact. Just because I know the opponent has some big units. Maybe I hit the Storm Conduit on the Celestial Impact. Ooh, the opponent has a very good start. He just levels up Elise immediately and then he goes ahead and develops a full board just for existing. Not the best thing for me. But I have an interesting start myself. Let's buff up the Mountain Goat. Drop the Aphelios down for 1 less. We'll go Calibrum for removal. Okay, Imperial Dance being the Storm Conduit is not so bad. If I'm not mistaken, the only spells in that deck are the Vile Fist and that one that's 6 mana to summon 3 spiders. But I feel like the Imperial Dance will still be worth it. Manifest the 6 drop, make it a Storm Conduit. We won't be able to go for this Disciple of Doran if I do that. Fine, I'm basically trading power now for power later. Sure, let's go for the Void Abomination. Right, it gathers Storm as well, so I can actually go for the Disciple of Doran this turn. That's huge. The extra unit matters a lot. Like I was saying, if I can get a unit to die with lifesteal on it, then the Void Abomination is going to get lifesteal. That's going to be pretty good for me. What's not good is the opponent having a full board. Let's do this. Try to minimize the amount of damage I take. Lifesteal is going to be neat. Okay. Okay, I don't get the lifesteal off. And I lose my board in the process. Well, at least some of the opponent's units got their attacks reduced. So it could be worse. What do I want to duplicate? Guess the Void Abomination. There's a large unit. Next turn I'm definitely going for the Celestial Impact. The question is, do I want to Imperial Dance now or later? I'm going to hold. I'll try to hold as long as possible before I commit the Imperium Dance onto something. Stoppers. Okay, that's decent. We're going to deny the 2-draw. We're going to recall that enemy. And we only take 17 damage. can obliterate something, but it's not yet time. Let's drop down the 2 Void Abominations. They're not evolved yet. I can Celestial Impact that thing. I'm going to do it. Get the Celestial Impact back into the deck. It's pretty decent. I guess Elusives are our game plan now. Because that's the only thing I have that can get through the opponent's units. He has another one of those. That's annoying.
Craft is not made but discovered.
How am I going to survive that? How am I going to deal with that? Actually, I have a way to deal with that. I can Gifts from Beyond. Go ahead and give one of my units Severum. So it has lifesteal. And now both of the Void Abominations have lifesteal. So at the very least, I regenerate some health. So I can stay alive for a bit longer. The main concern here is definitely card advantage though. We're struggling quite a lot, and the opponent hit 2 Spiderlings back to back. Not ideal for me. Let's try to get this 8 damage through. 9 damage through actually. As long as he doesn't remove the Void Abomination, I'm fine. Except next turn he can pull the Void Abomination with the Spider Queen Elise. No, he can't. I can recall the Spider Queen Elise actually.
Purge the impurities.
I'm definitely doing that. I want to preserve the Void Abomination. Even if it's going to result in me taking more damage now. It's actually good. Because all this does is make it so later on the Void Abomination can give me more health. Ooh. Stormblade Sage. Wait, is none of my cards a Storm Conduit? Okay, this one is. It just isn't showing for some reason. Let's do this. Going to buff up the Stormblade Sage. Just so he buffs up the Shades of Battle's Past as well. Ooh. The Stormblade Sage is actually a -2 across the board on the opponent's units. Because of our power. Good to know. Okay, the opponent draws even more. Oh, how annoying. Is he going to deck himself out? I feel like he might run into that problem. Because he is significantly lower on cards than I am. And I feel like I've dealt with at least most of his largest units. Like the Elises are gone. Elises are gone, and then what's it called? The 8 mana spider is also gone, 2 of them. So yeah, the necrotic arachnoid, 2 of them are gone. That means other than the 5 mana spider, he doesn't really have a lot of other threats. So while I'm not exactly capable of killing him right now, at the very least he isn't able to kill me. Okay, that's the last one of the necrotic arachnoids. Unfortunately, it trades favorably with my Void Abomination. How do I want to block this? I can either block here, turn this into something that's no longer a threat, or I can bounce it back to hand, block here, only take 2 damage. He gets to play the necrotic arachnoid again, which gives him a full board. But I just go under that full board with the Void Abomination because he doesn't have elusives. And we win that way. Okay, we actually won. Ooh, that was... It wasn't close, but it was very annoying to pull off. I definitely wouldn't have done it without the Void Abominations. Philosopher's Stone Yasuo. Yeah, more copies of Yasuo are fine. And if they draw a card, I suppose that's good as well. Gem crafting, gearing up, phantom pranks. Unfortunately, none of these are that great. Let's reroll once. Another Sweet Solitude. That might be way too much. Or way too many timeline dedications. Let's reroll again. Crush, Wild Inspiration. Beagle Dust, Sprinkle. We are generating a lot of cards, so I suppose Wild Inspiration is nice, right? Yeah. Hail Death or Survive the Night. I think we'll do better against Survive the Night. The Pale Death just goes over the top and burns us to death. Meanwhile, Survive the Night we just stall, which we are decent at. I'm actually going to keep the Celestial Impact and the Last Breath. It can help us remove some of this stick here of the opponent's units. Let's go Time and Dedication here. We'll play the Disciple of Doran. Just a very normal game plan. That's annoying. Can go for the Unleash the Storm right away. Yeah, let's preserve our health total. I guess we're going for the Shades of Battle's Past next. Okay, that's an unfortunate hit. It was a card that was already free. Yeah, sure. No reason not to commit the Inspiring Mentor onto the board. Mostly because the opponent doesn't really have a lot of removal. Okay, this is good. Let's go Community with Spirits. Sanctum Conservator is actually a good way to control the board. We're going to buff up our units. And we're going to let the opponent go. Yeah, sure. Attack with that opponent. Be my guest. I'm just going to bounce that back. Block there. And now he has 2 very inefficient units. Oh, that's going to be a problem. I'm definitely just going to drop down the Yasuo over that unit. And then there goes the opponent's equipment.
Maybe I do have a future.
And then obviously I'm going to attack as soon as he plays something. Yep.
I face my fate.
Just so I can obliterate the Undying as well. We're really keeping a good control of the board. Hopefully we'll be able to pull that off against Fiddlesticks. The Stygian Onlooker. Is there a way to... No, there's no way we can kill it. At least not right now, unfortunately. During that attack, I mean. I suppose I have to do this.
The blade. I did my best.
Does the opponent die next turn? Yeah, he does. Okay, so we're safe. Surviving the night was a lot easier than I anticipated. I suppose I got all of the tools I needed to be efficient while doing it. We got the recall, the cheap recall in our opening hand, and we had some nice ways to obliterate opponent stuff. Windfarer Hatchling, or a reason, or more reason souls. Definitely more reason souls. Shop. And none of these are that great. And the raiding party is not really what I want. Let's see what our next encounter is. An item chest. I'm pretty... Okay, there we go. For some reason the shop was not opening up. I guess we're picking up the raiding party maybe. I'm going to use one reroll here just to see if I can get better cards. All of these are very tempting. The Traveler is very good. Sign-in is very good. Crumbling Sands is very good. Let's go... Traveler. Sign-in. To sign-in and then raiding party. And then we move on. More cards in our deck, and at the same time more ways to generate cards. Now, if I could get some more cards with stack deck, that would be neat. But I'll make do with what we have. Okay, that was a very good start from the opponent. He just summons 3 units for free. Let's go for the play on the Aphelios. We'll save 2 spell mana. Or I can go Crescendum for board presence. I'm tempted to do that. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I do Crescendum for board presence. Then we go a Risen Soul. Then we go for the Calibrum. We'll deal 3 there just to make that into a non-threat. And then I'm definitely going to use the Zephyr Sage to duplicate the Unleash the Storm. And I can actually go for the attack here. With both of my Risen Souls, I grew them a whole lot. Yeah, this thing grows very fast.
Knowledge is suffering.
And the units I removed from the opponent's board just came back. With a vengeance, in fact, because there was more of them. At least he just screwed himself over because he no longer has a overgrown Snapvine. Because he filled up his entire board. Yeah, let's override the Dragon Link generator. I don't need it. That's a frightening word. Let's stun that one. Just keep playing moon weapons. Maybe it will be relevant. Next turn.
Her father for a pointless struggle.
Let's do this into the Traveler. I do waste one of the procs of this Gathering of the Storm, or a Storm Gather, or whatever it's called, but it should be fine. Okay, good thing I have the Unleash the Storm. This way I protect my Arisen Soul. And the other Unleash the Storm was the one that got the effect. Okay,
I am with you.
I can work with that.
I see your soul.
Let's just get rid of all of the opponent's board. Or most of it anyway. And I can play Moon Weapon to level up Aphelios. Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's probably fine.
The moon speaks, Aphelios. You are its voice.
Just because next turn I'm going to get an additional Moon Weapon. He now has an overgrown Snapvine. Oh, fortunately I doubled up on the Unleash the Storm. Otherwise I would have been pretty screwed because these Arisen Souls are definitely my win condition this game. Let's drop down the Traveler. Or an additional Traveler.
Who knows me? I am the traveler.
Let's mitigate some of that damage, I suppose. I mean, at this point I'm just trying to stall during the opponent's turns because I have lethal on my turn. Like, how is he going to stop this attack?
Nothing matters.
He obviously can't. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have vengeances or any fast speed removals. So he dies.
Wavering faith. The moon is.
And now for the actual challenging fight. Or actually challenging fight. X-Stack Fabricator on the last breath. Or more Celestial Blessings. Nah, more last breaths, definitely. As much as I want the stack deck, the Celestial Blessing or the card that's already in my deck by default is better. And here, I think I want more Imperium Dances, especially if they have a Mage's Handbook on them. Homecoming with Summoning Beacon. Or Messenger Sigil, which is basically 1 mana draw champion and put 5 cards into my deck. Honestly, I'm just going to pick this up, even though Homecoming is tempting. The tutor for a champion and get more cards into the deck is a bit better in my opinion. Just because I really need to mitigate the downside of generating a whole bunch of cards during my turn. Which is that my deck is going to get obliterated. I want to keep this hand. Honestly, yeah, just so I have at least 1 card with stacked deck in my opening hand. Ooh, we pulled off the Aphelios. I'm not sure that's actually good for me though. Mostly because our deck relies on having or on buffing up the Aphelios at the start. I can go Unleash the Storm on something. Do I want to? I'm going to bounce this one back to the hand. Generate a card or a moon weapon, which I'm going to use to remove that one. And then I'm going to wait for the next turn. We have to play it a bit slow, unfortunately. That was two of my card shufflers, or yeah, card shufflers gone. Not ideal. Let's do a Felius Moon Gift, or a Felius Gifts from Beyond Plaza Guardian, I think. Just because that allows me to go for another Calibrum.
It hurts because it must.
And we get a Gravitum in the process, which is nice as well. Let's remove the highest attack unit, obviously. We'll get the Severum, even though I don't think I'm going to die to damage. I'm probably going to die to
They will.
the opponent going ahead and burning my deck. In fact, maybe I should drop down the Yasuo right away, just to try and push for damage on the next turn. Okay, he summoned the Fiddlesticks and the Yasuo immediately killed said Fiddlesticks.
Life and death on the
Interesting interaction, one I definitely didn't expect. But it allows me to start pushing for damage. There go most of my cards yet again. Let's stun that one. I'm definitely trying to maybe bait the opponent into removing my Yasuo. Yeah, so I can go for the Imperium Dance. Get screwed, idiot. He's definitely going to remove my Plaza Guardian though, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Poor guy. But I get some damage through, and that's all that matters. I could go for the Celestial Impact right now. I'll go for the more expensive one. This one's cheaper, so it's a bit less awkward to use next turn. Only 2 cards tossed, or terrified, really. Well, things are going a bit better than I anticipated. And yes, the Red Harvester, right. Forgot about that part. It's fine, I can do this on the Red Harvester. That's one problem gone. Let's buff up the Elusive. Let's drop down the Shades of Battle's Past. Next turn I'm reducing the cost of the Mountain Goat and then attacking. Right away? Do I go for an open attack? Yeah, sure. If he wants to block with the Yellowfish, that's fine by me. It actually turns that Yellowfish from a threat into a non-threat. Let's split the Mountain Goat, sure. Make something else the Storm Conduit. Okay, that's a whole bunch of non-threats. I'm actually going to hold most of my cards, because there are worse things in that deck. Things that I want to either obliterate, or that I want to bounce into his hand, so it's a bit awkward for him to play them. Okay, Crow Storm. Sure would be nice to have a Imperium's Dance in hand, but I'll make do. First of all, let's bounce that back to the opponent's hand. Maybe we give the Imperium something good. Okay, Scout is nice. Scout is a good keyword. Unfortunately, that's a second Fiddlesticks. Luckily for me, I can obliterate that Fiddlesticks. That's 2 Fiddlesticks gone. And he doesn't really have that much of a hand, so maybe I can draw into something good off of the Arisen Soul. Okay, that's huge. We can get a win con off of the Commune with the Spirits. And that's the last Fiddlesticks. And I just saw the second Imperium Dance being destroyed. Definitely need something good here. Avatar of the Tides. If you would get a mana gem instead, refill your spell mana. When you play a spell, create in hand a random spell that costs 3 or less and guaranteed fleeting. It's very tempting just for the sake of getting more spells. But I don't think that's the play. I need threats. And I don't really have a lot of cards in my deck, so I can't afford to do a lot. Let's do this. Try to create some threats. That's a second Crow Storm. Let's see if he plays something threatening, or if he gets something threatening off of this. I definitely don't want him getting the summon effect off of the Fiddlesticks, so I guess we're bouncing the Overgrown Snapvine back to his hand. On the Bucklers. Wrath Colossus. I'm attacking. Try to remove one of the opponent's threats. I've run out of value. That's a problem. And there's my Yasuo, or my second Yasuo, or one of my Yasuos. Gone. I need something good here. Yeah. None of these are actually that useful. Let's go for the Extali Sentinel. Maybe the healing will matter.
The elements bind the living and the dead.
He's ripping twice there.
What are you made of?
He's just going to restore 11 health, and I can't really do anything about it. What a problem. Terrible situation I found myself in.
It wants us.
I'm not really seeing a way to win this game. Unless I draw something spectacular here. That would be a way to destroy the Fiddlesticks and that thing. But I think it's a bit too late for that. Yeah, he's killing my unit. I might be able to remove one of his threats, but he still has 3 more. That's another Celestial Impact. Let's get rid of that one. I'm going to try and hold out until the end, but yeah, the opponent has enough damage on board. Yeah, this is what I feared. Spirit Blossom Yasuo is just not that great against this encounter, specifically. We still have the revive, so we have the option to try again. But I feel like the outcome is going to be the same. Unless I manage to level up Yasuo and keep him on the board. Do I want this hand? Yeah, I'll keep this hand. Sign-in will allow me to draw cards when I need to. The opponent got the Shallow Siren right away. A bit unlucky in my opinion. But it could be worse. Imperium Dance with the... is the Storm Conduit. In that case, I should do this. Work on getting those two down in terms of cost. Revna might be decent since she'll get +3/+3. She might actually end up buffing my deck to an absurd degree. And that might be the difference between winning or losing. The extra stats on my units. I can go for her next turn. And that's unlucky. The opponent just hit a bunch of scary cards. I guess I have to go for Revna and then Imperium Dance without countering a spell. Or I can counter one of these, I suppose. If I don't really have anything better. Sure. Let's buff up the Yasuo. I'm actually going to go ahead and wait till next turn to drop down this sign-in. Try to use my attacking turn for it. That's when it will have the most impact, I feel. But now I went and got something better. I can double up on the Imperium Dance. Or I can still go for this sign-in plan. Yeah, let's go for the sign-in plan. What's the worst that can happen? This is actually pretty decent. I'll be able to go for the Mountain Goat. Generate a card. We're actually going to obliterate a lot of cards from my deck here. But the opponent doesn't really have a lot of cards in hand, so maybe it's fine. Next turn I can go Zephyr Sage. I'm going to double up on the Imperium Dance definitely. Because I want to protect my Yasuo from removal. That's if I have time. I need to play with my health. The opponent's going to kill me with the... with Terrify at this rate, not with damage. So I have to do this. Sure, it deals 33 here. But it's fine. Let's play the Yasuo.
I will follow this path until the end. Okay,
that's whatever. We got the Celestial Blessing in hand. Yeah, I definitely want to play it. Just because it shuffles more into the deck. And I want to play the Imperium Dance on the what's it called? The opponent's Growth Storm. Can Zephyr Sage another Imperium Dance, or I can go for more Celestial Impacts. I feel like with Imperium Dance being free, this is better. Yeah, because of that. There goes one of the opponent's units. And let's go for that one. That one has the least impact on summon. Definitely don't want to bounce back the other Fiend or the Red Harvester. So last breath. Whatever. I feel like I definitely need to go ahead and Celestial Impact here, because I am running out of cards. So one Celestial Impact should do the trick. And the opponent hit a full board immediately. And that's another Fiddlesticks. A bit unfortunate. It's fine, it's fine. Let's go for this Celestial Impact into Last Breath there. Try to preserve my Yasuo and get rid of the Fiddlesticks in the process. Yasuo with double attack is huge. I need to keep Yasuo alive. Let's bounce that one because it can kill Yasuo too. I would like the buff on the Shades of Battle's Pass, but I don't think we can get it off. Okay, he no longer wants to kill the Yasuo. I'll take it. That's better than him going for the kill. The unfortunate part is definitely this attack though. Need to mitigate the damage as much as possible, while at the same time staying alive. Next turn, I'm definitely dealing a bunch of damage with Yasuo. Do I go for an attack right away? Yeah, I have to. I'll attack with this one too. It can't block the fearsomes anyway. Has he gone through all of his Fiddlesticks? I think the answer is maybe. There goes my Yasuo. And I'm pretty sure the Grifter's deck is not enough, unfortunately. Because I'm going to Terrify 3 here. Yep. And we lost. Okay, so first time around we lost to damage, second time around we lost to the Terrify. Went about as well as I expected. It's just very hard to deal with this last encounter with Yasuo. It was still a decent attempt nonetheless. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.